Good morning everyone. Today's training seminar is focused on the topic of oral language development. I hope everyone enjoyed breakfast and got a chance to look over the agenda. Our agenda for today is as follows. From 8 till 8:10 we will have an opening activity. At 8:15 our main learning event on oral language will begin. At 10 we will take a 10-minute break and we will resume our main learning event at 10:15. We will be wrapping things up around noon, and we will close with a summary activity. Does anyone have any questions about today's activities? Please feel free to ask questions throughout today's active training session. Let us start with mixing things up a bit. If you did not notice, there is a clip or picture on your name tag. Find your group members and the table with your picture on it. Now that everyone is in their groups, I would like you to take a look at the graphic at your table. Please take 5 minutes to discuss as a group what you see. Select one person from your group to be the recorder. The recorder should list all observations on the large white paper provided. Also, select one person from your group to share. Okay, your 5 minutes have passed. As you were working with your groups, was it difficult to discuss the picture? Was the conversation balanced? Did all group members have equal input? Would any groups like to share their observations?
Our group discussed how the picture looked like it was taken on a farm in the fall. It also seemed as though the individuals in the picture were happy and peaceful. Another observation we had was that the individuals looked proud as they picked their homegrown vegetables with admiration. Overall, our conversation was balanced. All group members provided an equal amount of input to the conversation.
From your responses, I can surmise that this exercise was not difficult for you at all. As adults, we know how to communicate effectively. However, our students don't. Our children come with low oral language skills. Our goal is to provide opportunities to increase vocabulary by using oral language skills. Our children come to us from different types of environments. These environments have a direct impact on their prior knowledge and language development. When analyzing the growth in oral language development among our students in kindergarten, we have found significant growth in the students' oral language. We attribute this growth to the consistent use of oral language experiences and strategies in the classroom. We can also attribute this growth to extended instructional opportunities provided by the full-day kindergarten program. This finding exhibits the need for continued focus on improving and enhancing oral language development through appropriate strategies. Our oral language goal as indicated in our school improvement plan is to increase by 75% the oral language skills for all students. In order to get all of us engaged in this process, we are going to develop listening teams. Each of your tables will be assigned a role to play as an active listener. On the back of your graphic, you will see questioner, agreeer, naysayer, or example giver. These will be the roles that you will assume during today's training. After the training, each team will be given a few moments to complete their assignments and post on easel wallpaper. I will call on you to question, agree, naysay, or give examples. Are there any questions about your roles as active listening teams? Okay, let's get started by looking at some research about oral language development. Hart and Risley conducted a study on children from professional families, working-class families, and families on welfare. Slides 15 through 18 show the results of their findings. Their study found that children of professional families initiate longer interactions and are also more advantaged when it comes to cumulative language experiences. The aim of an oral language program is to help all children develop effective communication skills based on purposeful language interactions. It is our goal today to make sure that we cover all components of a well-rounded oral language program. Let's get our kids talking. As teachers, you may be asking, where do I start? Well, let's start with a small common goal, to increase talking in our students. The tool we will be using to increase student talk is our planner for oral language. The planner breaks up each oral language lesson into 3 sessions. The first session of any oral language lesson is similar to what we all did earlier today. Students are asked to discuss, what do you see in the picture?
A sample student response would be tomatoes.
Then a teacher would ask, what sound is that? What letter does it sound like it starts with?
A student would probably say, tum-tum-tum tomato. It sounds like it starts with a T.
Exactly. If a student happens to make an incorrect guess, that's okay. But make sure to validate any attempt to participate in the conversation. To conclude session 1, students will write the letter on a whiteboard. The first oral language lesson is letter ID, work, letter formation, making and breaking. During the second session, instead of having students talk to you about the picture, students will discuss amongst themselves. It looks like I have a question. Yes, Mr. Smith?
Is the entire oral language lesson supposed to happen in one day?
Absolutely not. Each session should be done on a separate day. We are working with developmental skills, so it's important to take it slow. Students will draw a picture and write a letter associated with what they see in the picture. Students will link the letter drawn with student names and items in the room. During the third and final session, students will be given a whiteboard with 3 to 5 magnetic letters, making sure not to include any visually similar letters. Students will then discuss other words that they know that start with the letter T. The teacher should be keeping detailed notes about student progress. With increased frequency in the use of the oral language planner and lesson, students should become more comfortable having conversations with you and other students. Now let's put this planner into practice. With your group members, practice using the oral language planner to design a lesson for the oral language development of your students. Share your thoughts and experiences using the planner in this practice activity. Post comments on easel post-it paper on wall. Now, let's hear from our active listening teams. Thank you all for sharing your questions, positive and negative comments and examples. Now, what's next? How will we use this information going forward? In our upcoming PLC meetings, let's focus on students' oral language development. The handout on the next slide will help to facilitate your PLC discussions on oral language. In the PLC, continuously discuss, reflect and share instructional strategies that were and were not effective in improving students' oral language development. Observe each other's classrooms implementing strategies to promote oral language development. Regularly monitor the development of students as measured by assessments such as the Record of Oral Language and the ELPA. In closing, I would like you all to evaluate what you have or have not learned from today's active training session. I am going to read some statements about this session. Using a scale of 1 to 5, 1 for strongly disagree and 5 for strongly agree, please stand in front of the number that matches your opinion on the statement. Read. Ready? I have learned new information about the oral language development of children. I have learned a new instructional strategy to improve the oral language development of my students. I will apply the instructional strategy learned in this session with my students. Thank you all so much for your feedback. I hope that you all enjoyed today's session and I thank you for your active participation.